We're live on location at the CanTech Investment Conference that brings together Canada's best tech investments. And right now we're talking to a drug delivery platform innovator, Lexaria Bioscience. And joining us now is Chris Bunker, the Chairman and CEO. Chris, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So why don't you give our viewers an introduction to your patented Dehydratech technology? What is that about?
Thank you. Our Dehydratech technology is, as you say, a patented technology. We have 10 patents already granted and over 50 more pending for taking different drugs and molecules, making them more palatable, making them taste good, smell good, so that you can put them into common substances like, say, coffee or foods of many different kinds, or of course capsules, and have them enter your bloodstream more quickly and more effectively than they otherwise would.
Okay. We've always spoken about your interest in the medical cannabis space, but you're doing something very game-changing, which is oral nicotine.
Correct.
And you've gone into a big partnership with that. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we were very, very fortunate to be able to announce a deal with one of the biggest nicotine companies on earth, Altria. It's a great partnership, I think, for both companies. They will assist us in funding a multi-phase research program to ensure the safety and efficacy of oral forms of nicotine. So you could think of things like a chewing gum, which already exists, or maybe, perhaps, things like a cup of coffee with nicotine. The idea, of course, is to deliver the nicotine that nicotine users, smokers, generally crave without requiring the nicotine to pass through the lungs.
Okay.
Because really the vast majority of negative health effects of smoking is in fact from smoking, and it's not from the nicotine itself, which by itself in small quantities is relatively harmless to human health. And so it has to be regulated very, very carefully because of the addictive qualities of the substance. But our whole premise is that if we can help people to swallow it in a food or a beverage of some kind, we can get around the lung cancer issue, which has plagued the industry for so many decades.
What you're talking about here is huge. I mean, the cigarette business is a behemoth, it's a monster. What do you see the market opportunity for your drug delivery system, given that it's now getting to be combined with oral nicotine?
Well, I think the marketplace, so consumers, have already, sort of voted that they are wide open to the idea of alternative forms of nicotine delivery. And I think that's why vaping has taken off the way it has. So in the United States, nicotine vaping is already around a $3 billion a year business from almost nothing just a few years ago. And other alternative forms of nicotine are also a multi-billion-dollar business in the United States. So the present market for alternative forms of nicotine is probably somewhere in the $5 to $10 billion range per year. And we think that because there are really no viable oral forms of nicotine before our technology came along, that if people were given a good alternative for things like a coffee or other substances, they would probably take advantage of that, and the market size might be much, much bigger. The global nicotine market outside of China is about $750 billion a year. It is in fact one of the largest industries on earth.
Yeah.
Although it's hard to wrap your head around those numbers, we could actually influence perhaps a significant portion of that delivery.
Okay. So this year at CanTech, what's your message to all the visitors, and investors who are coming to your booth? What are you telling them?
Well, we've always wanted people to understand that Dehydratech is not only applicable to cannabis-related products. We actually have divisions for nicotine, for cannabis, for hemp, and even for pharmaceuticals. So our technology was originally devised to be able to deliver things like cannabinoids, but also vitamins and pain relief, non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, any number of products.
Yeah.
So Dehydratech is a much broader platform than I think most people realize. And now with a partner like Altria and others that we're working on, I think we're going to be able to convince people that we are in fact for real, we're going to be around for the long run, and that we can have a meaningful impact across several different industries.
Chris Bunker, we're so excited to hear about oral nicotine and what you plan to do with it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.